office had the whole groups represented around the table, and then drafted a plan which consisted of the items that you see there. Purchasing assistive technology, implementing CEIS, hiring a transition coach, purchasing curriculum, and then making modifications to the access in their life skills classroom. And many of these items are the kinds of things that we're talking about in terms of sustainability, that they'll have value after the ARA funds have expired. And there is a chart that reflects the information that I just talked about for that second example. And you can see that there's a heavier investment at the beginning, and then it evens out and tapers as we go into that third and fourth year. And in this example, our feeling is that the district made wise choices both for the short term when ARA funding was available and for the longer term after ARA funding has been depleted. Next is the Title I fiscal timeline. Same format as with IDEA special education. And you can see the information that is there. I do want to point out one thing in our hurry to put these slides together. If you look at the ARA Title I row and the second box over, actually the third box over, it says obligate by September 30th, 2012. And that is in our optimism. It actually is, as you know, 2011. Okay? Because those funds expire in that 27-month period that ends in 2011. But that's the schematic for Title I. First example in Title I, following the pattern of IDEA. You can see the dollars that are there. In this particular example, hiring a math coach for all the Title I schools, and this is a fairly small school district, you can tell by the allocation. Scheduling professional development for the teachers, and notice that the needs are determined and aligned to the state standards. And then also the purchase of supplemental materials related to math. And there's how that will play out in a 4-year budget planning format. And you can see that the dollars are relatively stable and evenly invested in that expenditure period over those 4 years. And the strength of this is that the district has really planned ahead and looked at where those expenditures would be made based on the dollars available and tried to stretch them out over that period of time. I don't have a good, bad example in Title I. These are both fair approaches to the ARA challenge. Second example, same dollar amounts as we did with the IDEA example. And we have a draft plan for District Number 2. Supporting the Title I teachers, and this is support not only in terms of professional development, but also salary and benefits. Targeting those funds to reading and math based on the state assessment results. Budgeting the ARA funds for middle school and hiring teachers to work in the area of math, and then professional development that encompasses that as well. There's the chart that shows how those dollars flow out. And again, they're relatively even amounts. Notice, however, that the dollars do go down a bit in the 4th year. And based on the investment in staff, the district may face some of the effects of a funding cliff because the staff dollars would not be there, possibly in the subsequent years. And so that's something to be aware of. And so, as I said in the beginning before I went through all these charts, we're talking about examples, not recipes or formulas. And one of the things that you will want to do is to monitor and adjust. Start with the plan for 4 years at least, and monitor and adjust as you go through that 4-year period of time. You have heard several times the statements that are on the slide now. Spend the dollars quickly and make thoughtful investments. And somehow that seems like a contradiction. How can you be quick and thoughtful in the same sentence? But yet that is what ARRA is. And so we need to respond to that. We are to save and create jobs and fund educational reform efforts. And we are to look for sustainability in the years after ARRA funding is gone and avoid the funding cliff. Again, plan the work and work the plan. Sounds cliche, but it's extremely important that you do that. And not just in Title I and special ed that I've been talking about here to you this morning, but how that fits into the other ARRA programs and how they fit into your overall spending scheme in your districts. Through all of this, we want to be able to maximize the impact and maximize the benefit. Is it going to be hard work? Absolutely, and you've seen that already, and there's more to come. But we can do that together, as you've heard some of the other speakers say today. You know, it may sound cliche, just like plan the work and work the plan. I'm Bob Harmon, and I'm from OSPI, and I'm here to help. See, Alan, you were right. They would like that. Yeah. But that's really true. That's really true. And not just me, but all the folks at OSPI, certainly the folks in my division. And if it were not for you as superintendents and fiscal managers and program administrators at the district, there'd be no reason for OSPI. So just know that. And to conclude my remarks, is this hard work? Yes, it absolutely is, but we must be successful in that work. We don't have a choice. We must be successful. A lot of it rides on that. You've heard about what may happen or may not happen in reauthorization and programs at the federal level. Yes, those are at risk in terms of their continuing or not, or at what level. But even more than that is our own kids, the kids that you have in your schools and in your districts and that we have across our state. That's really what's most at risk if we're not successful. While it is not without its challenges, we have an unprecedented opportunity, and our Washington kids are counting on every one of us to do our part. And now I'm going to turn it over to Doug Gill.